5 years after designing the two world mandala luxury book, this time I published a luxury book that integrated two works by Botticelli that are representative of the Italian Renaissance era called Heavenly Venus and Earthly Venus. It is a work of my planning, composition, and bookmaking. 63 centimeter long, 45 centimeter wide, 15 centimeter thick. It is an extremely big book. It is a masterpiece that includes a new mythology that glorifies the humanism of the Renaissance through two of Botticelli's notable work, Primavera and the Birth of Venus. This is the design of its explanation book. The explanation book includes a discussion by Shigehiko Asumi and Midori Wakakuwa, born of the frothing in the ocean Aphrodite. A picture depicting the birth of the fresh and the beautiful Venus, swept away by the west wind, the goddess of flowers who makes flowers bloom, or the goddess of fertility surrounded by three goddesses, Venus, is painted in the Primavera. One afternoon, I was gazing idly at the two works side by side on top of my desk. I realized that similarities and differences like those in the two world mandala were hidden in these two pictures. These two exhibits are of nearly the same size. They were created close to 5 years apart. Venus rises in the center of the scene, while the Venus in Primavera is clothed. The Venus in the Birth of Venus displays dazzling nude. It has obvious similarities and refreshing differences. Incidentally, one more important similarity and difference is hidden. That is the appearance and the position of the west wind. The tepid breeze of the west wind brings spring to the Mediterranean Sea. The west wind, Zephyrus, appears at the edge of both the Primavera and the Birth of Venus, flirting with the nymph Chloris, sending in the spring breeze. It forms the origin of the story told by the paintings. But if you suddenly look in the Primavera, he's on the right side. In the Birth of Venus, he's on the left. The positions are reversed. In other words, is it possible these two paintings were painted to face each other? There is also speculation that they were conceptualized together as a pair. Actually, there are documents supporting that theory. The similarities and the differences hidden in both the paintings surrounding Venus and West Wind and other correlations can be noticed. For example, if you see just one, a semicircular arch is visible in the sky, created by the forest treetops above Venus in the Primavera. The shell below the feet in the Birth of Venus forms an arch supporting Venus. It is a contrast between the arches of heaven and earth. Having already worked on the two world mandala in my head, the images of the two Venuses of Botticelli and the two Verochanas sitting in the center of the two world mandalas overlapped and corresponded, radiating light. I came up with the idea of integrating Botticelli's two world mandala in one book called Heavenly Venus and Earthly Venus. The large image of Primavera and the Birth of Venus that starts by the sway of the west wind, I chased the story that was created by these two paintings, attempting to foresee the movement of the viewer's point of view that goes everywhere and trim the rich details, dismantling them into many large illustrations. A sheet has been made by lining up all the small images. Detailed photography was instructed to Lessing from the Magnum Group. Splendid color positives were taken. There are 45 sheet screens in spring and 25 in birth. It comes up to 70 pages. The relationship of ni ni fu ni, which was infused with a pair of masterpieces, that are devoted to the idea of the Renaissance. Moreover, the charm of the detailed pictures that are many are one, one is many. A luxury book that could be called Botticelli's Mandala of the Two Worlds was published in 1982 as a commemorative project of a printing house in Japan. One book, two paintings concealed within, and many sheets springing forth. This also resembles the two-world mandala in its two or one, many or one design. There is a video. Please take a look. Let's look at the birth. This video was created when we did a book exhibition of this book. Actually, there is one more video on Primavera. It is a pair. Unfortunately, we can do only one of them today.